We'll go down to 100. And there you go. That's how you use a for loop. Let's have a look at the time. Got a bit of time. I want to show you the syntax for the while loop. So the while loop is also a looping control structure. It's written differently, but it's also for a different purpose. But I can write the while loop in such a way where it'll work the same as this for loop. There's a reason why we call this. We also call this for loop the control loop. For loops are control loops because the reason being is we can control when we start and when we stop. A while loop, on the other hand, we don't call it a control loop, but we can control when it starts and stops, but it takes a little bit more effort. So let me show you the exact same syntax that will work exactly the same way as this one. So firstly, we need a count. We're going to start at 1. Okay. Now notice that there's an issue here. That's because if this is using count, this can't use count. So really we shouldn't use count here. We should use something else, such as we'll use an I. We'll use another. We'll use I, dim I equals 1. And then in here, there's a condition that we need to put in. So I starts at 1, just like count starts at 1, and you want to go to 100. So we want to do this while I is less than or equal to 100. Right, so we've got this kind of 1, this 100, this 1 to start, the end, well, that's the end value. And finally, we need to go 1i equals I plus 1. So this structure and this structure is the same. I forgot to mention that this is how the for loop works. Count starts at 1, then it goes into here, and it prints off that 1 here, and then it goes next I. So then in this part here, I is the same as I equals I plus 1. It's adding 1 to I, and then what it does is it jumps back up here. Sorry, this is count. It's the same as count equals count plus 1 in here. And then it jumps back up here, and now count is 2, and then it will execute this, and this number will be 2. Then it comes back down here, and then now count changes to 3, and then it just keeps looping like that. At some point when it reaches 100, it exits the loops. So that's how it works. The while loop over here starts here. Well, it has to start there. Then it goes in here and checks, is I less than 1? Yes, it is. Do something, then add 1 to I. So now it's 2. And then it jumps back up here and checks, is I less than 1? Is 2 less than 100? Yes. Do something. Goes to 3. So forth and so on. At some point, it will reach 100. When it reaches 100, it exits the loop. And that's how these things work. So this and this is equivalent. I could now put this line of code in. Change this to I. Turn these off. And show you that this does the exact same thing as this. There you go. 1 to 100. Okay, so that's our while loops and that's our for loops. This is our while loop, this is our for loop. So what I'll do now is show you a few other things. So let's say you wanted to jump by 2. With the while loop, it's easy to control. This while loop is easy to control. You can change that to 2, and now it's going to jump by 2. It'll start at 1, it'll go to 100, but it'll jump by 2. So so let's see how it goes. What I'll do is I'll go txt output.text. I want to clear it because I want to look at the while loop only. All right. So it does that, then it clears it, and then it does this. So we only see this. I just want to keep that syntax there so you can compare. All right, so right now it's jumping by 2. You can, so it goes 2, 9, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, and then it doesn't get quite to 100. What happens is it goes to 99, then it adds 2 and it goes to 101, and then it doesn't print off that 101 because it's not less than 100. So this controls the jump. Another thing you control is where it starts. Right now it starts at 1 here. I can make it start at 50 and end at somewhere close to 70 or 70 because it's divisible by 2. Let's try that. So it starts from 50, ends at 70, and it's jumping by 2s. You see there? 50, 52, 54. So this controls the step. This controls your end, your finish number. Well, not quite your finish number. It could be close to the finish number depending if it's divisible by a step. And this is your starting number. And this counter I, that's how it will change. It will change from 50 to 70, jumping up by 2s, this number. And you can use that for whatever purpose you need. Now, with the for loop, you can also change the step size. Here, you can clearly see where you can change the step size. Over here, you can't clearly see where you can change the step size. Actually, if you want to change the step size, you've got to add step 2. And now it will jump up by 2, start from 1, go to 100. So it won't reach 100, it will reach 99, and then stop there. And that's how you control the step. I'll just show you that. I'll turn the while loop off. Alright. There you go. So it jumps up by 2, goes 99. Likewise, you can change this to 50, change this to 70. There you go. Okay, so let's just do a few things that I'd like to show you. Now, what if we wanted to count down backwards? Going backwards is more clearer, I believe, with the while loop. So let's try it with the while loop first. So I want to count backwards. So let's say I start at 70. And I want to keep doing this. I want to keep going down by 1. If I is still greater than or equal to 0. So start at 70. As long as I is greater than 0, which 70 is greater than 0, and this will keep dropping. I'll put a negative here. At some point it will stop. Let's try that. So it goes down right to 0 there. Start, finish. You got to change that to a greater than, check. And now it's less than 1. You can of course go down by 2s. 70, 68, 66. I can go down by 5s. There you go. And that's how you go backwards. Whoops. Lost my page. Alright. So you can also do it with the for loop. And it's pretty much the same. You change this one to your starting value. You change this one to your end value. And you drop down by 2. Your step is -2. And that will work the same way as this. Well, this one's -5. I can go -5. I'll turn these off just to show you. There you go. It's dropping down by 5, starts at 70, ends at 50. You could make the for loop go up. Make the for loop go up. But if you want it to count down still, you can go 70 minus the count. So what will happen is count starts at 50, 70 minus 50 is 20. And as this count goes up, this particular value goes down. So it's backwards. And this works exactly the same. So I can keep this as a count up, but make this thing count down. Oh, sorry. That's going up. Yep. 50 and then 70 minus. Oh, yeah, right. I want it to. I need to then add 50. Is it add 50? Oh, I want from 70 to, yeah, add 50. Oh, yep. And I think I need to add 50. But this is 20, and then it'll go down to, and when this reaches 70, this is 0. Yep. So really I should be adding, there you go, 70 to 50. So really, this thing will count from 20 down to 0, then you need to add another 50. So really, we're adding 120. Well, now it's counting from 70 to 50. So you can you basically use a bit of maths to sort that out. What I could do is then show you, maybe just put another column in that counts the other way. So the first column is counting down, the second column is counting up. So you actually don't need to change this, you can just change the way you calculate it. Okay. Anyway, thanks for listening.